Good morning, everyone. My name is Byungnam, first year China Studies Concentrated Science. Today, I'm going to talk about energy cooperation between South Korea and Iran. So, first of all, I'd like to introduce South Korea's energy insecurity and previous and current situation. And finally, I'm going to talk about future possibility in energy cooperation between South Korea and Iran. So many countries in the world currently facing various energy problems. So in Asia, I think Japan has some energy safety issues, especially after the Fukushima crisis, and China also has some environmental issue due to its large consumption of coals. And maybe in Colombia, I read some articles. Colombia has some issues with natural gas because its production of natural gas is declining. So it is expected to lose self-sufficiency in 2017. So South Korea is not an exception. So South Korea is currently facing some very severe energy insecurity. So its energy dilemma is represented by this triad combination, which include lack of natural resources to support its energy-intensive economy, and heavy dependency on oil, and its heavy dependency on oil imports from Middle East. And South Korea and Iran traditionally maintained a relatively friendly relationship since 1962, despite South Korea's alliance with the United States and Iranian ties with North Korea. Iran also used to be one of the major oil suppliers of South Korea. South Korea imported around 10% of its crude oil from Iran from 2005 to 2011. So as you can see, these two pictures, I think these two pictures symbolized traditional relationship between two countries. So as you can see, this is one of the main street in Seoul. So South Korea named one of the main street after the capital of Iran. So it's called the Tehran Street, and there is a Seoul Street in Tehran too. And however, the relationship between South Korea and Iran has deteriorated after the U.S. sanctions over Iran, especially after U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's visit to Asia in 2012, I think. And so South Korea significantly reduced its trade volume and volume of trade and oil import from Iran. So as you can see in this graph, the average volume of oil imports has decreased by 40% from 2011 and to 2014. So since the agreement between United States and Iran on the Iranian nuclear program in last year, Iran has liberated from some of the sanctions. So in line with this, South Korea President Park Geun-hye made the official visit to Iran to seek some economic cooperation with Iran. So two leaders agreed to various agreements about the joint infrastructure and energy ventures. But however, however, the most fundamental solution to South Korea's energy insecurity would be diversifying its energy sources. In other words, shifting from the oil-intensive structure to the nuclear power or natural gas structure. Therefore, I think South Korea should pay more attention to liquefied natural gas in Iran, especially liquefied natural gas construction in Iran as a way to secure more natural gases. Iran has the world's second largest natural gas reserve, but it is currently seeking for partners mainly due to its lack of capacity to develop natural gas constructions. So this year, Korea Gas Corporation is reportedly considering participating in Iran's gas project, but South Korea government and the major oil companies in South Korea should seek to consolidate partnership with Iran to secure its energy security, and I think it eventually help mitigate South Korea's energy insecurity. Thank you. This is my presentation, and I'm happy to take answers and questions and comments. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Kelly.
So, as we all know, there's a lot of controversy about President Park right now and his connection with his friend's father. So, how do you think that might affect the diversifying the energy source? And what do you think if there's a
you
new
mean
president?
The current political scandal with energy corporation within Iran?
Yeah.
It sounds like something out of the scope of your
Yeah, I think it's quite beyond my scope of my research, but I didn't look into that much about the political scandal relationship between political scandal with and this energy corporation, but yeah.
So that's an interesting question. However, unfortunately, it's beyond.
Okay, it's beyond. That's a good question. But unfortunately, I think it's beyond the scope of my research.
Question.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for good presentation. It's an interesting topic. I understand that South Korea has a strong relationship with the states, the United States, but they don't like you to do business with Iran, I think. So, it happened in Japan a lot. So, do you know how the president is going to balance between the relationship between states and Iran?
Thank you for a good question. Actually, there's some concern actually, because Iran also have a close tie with North Korea, but I think this corporation is focused on economic cooperation. So I think the relationship with the United States would not much affect to the South Korean and Iran's relationship. Yes, because their cooperation is much focused on economic relations. There's not much related to political situation. So I think it does not.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any plan for building a pipeline between South Korea and China? Because China is building a massive gas pipeline networks, and it's I think it's an economic option, reasonable option to take, because importing energy is more costly than the pipeline network.
Thank you for the question, but I think it's also beyond my scope of research. So yeah, but thank you.
You cannot build a pipe between South Korea and China. You have to cross North Korea.
Yeah.
Or you have to cross the sea.
Under the sea.
Well, one belt, one road.